that went smooth this time.
Dude, I was bracing myself for it to stop.
Yeah, that was smooth. I was like, whoa. I think last time I got it all set up, we were live already. Um, so welcome to another episode. I'm excited with to have our guest on today. But before we get to him, I have to make an announcement here.
Into your
That
very fancy microphone.
my very fancy microphone right here, and I have a very fancy podcast set up. I have a pseudo fancy camera here now. But this whole setup here is compliments of Blue Meanie, our guest last week, because he sounded so crisp. I talked to him after the fact, and he was like, "No, this is the way you got to go." So this is the way we're going. So I showed you the board, so I can make all these funky noises and sounds.
Oh boy.
So I mean, part of the show we'll be hearing this. I mean, so we're good. All right, turn it off. Yeah, so I got all these cool, funky buttons over here now. See?
Oh boy.
Yeah. So
We've,
Dino's
we've
we can hit that.
we've created a monster.
I just think it's funny because it says rim shot.
Oh, Chaz.
Anyway, I have an announcement.
Big announcement coming up.
Announcement coming right now. We are officially part of the Culture Clash Network. So the Culture Clash Network, CCN, is a platform that will be delivering high quality, impactful, and entertaining content, bringing together a fantastic mix of creators, podcasts, focus on just driving engagement, conversation, helping each other out, having a good time. So it's just another way for us to get out there and us to support them. It's just, and when they say, a different mix, we're definitely adding a different mix.
Oh, yes.
We're definitely adding a different mix. So that's exciting. That's pretty much all I know. I don't know how much more involved it's, we have to get or be other than just doing this, but I'll find out more information as we go. And then, oh crap. You know what I forgot to do though? See?
Do you know when they'll be sending us our lucrative contracts?
I don't know, but I said all that and I didn't put this up there. So, hey, here we go. Here we go. We're just learning. No, I'm figuring that out. So they have a meeting tomorrow to figure out what our lucrative contracts will be. And then
did they agree to our 7 figures?
Well, listen, we just announced it, so yes. So they did. Cool. So without further ado, let me get fancy again here, like I've been able to.
Yeah, hopefully YouTube won't send us any stupid messages.
I know. Let's hope not. Is it still going?
No. Not on the screen.
Oh, okay, good. It was supposed to stop. All right, there we go. All right, good. I don't know. Still trying to figure this out. So, and oh, wait, we got to go back to this one.
Yeah.
There it is. Or do we like this view better?
I mean, I'm liking the side by side. When you figure that out, this looks awesome.
Yeah, that looks good. That looks good.
Good. Dean, what's going on, man?
What's going on? First of all, I want to say congratulations on joining your new network. I know your 7-figure deal includes an Undertaker action figure, a D'Lo Brown action figure, and a Chaz action figure. So I don't know the other 4, but that 7-figure deal is huge.
I need a D'Lo action figure for my wall behind me. You're the only one I don't have.
Well, we're going to have to fix that. We're going to have to fix that.
We got to fix it.
Chaz,
yeah.
I have a D'Lo Brown action figure on my wall. How do you not?
Listen, I'm waiting for a lowdown action figure. I thought eventually that makes
Bro, no. Man, there's nothing lowdown ever happening again.
Simon, don't say it.
With or without the turbans.
You said it.
You said it. You said the T word.
Oh, I told you. So, yeah. So let's start right there then, because I actually wanted to. I know. Listen, I've said it before. I've said it in my book. I've said it all over the work. The worst thing, out of all the gimmicks I've done, that not being with you being the worst, the turban,
Mm-hmm.
the absolute worst thing. But here's my question to you, and I wanted to ask you this. And the reason I'm asking you this is because you had a very successful singles career.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd go through all your stuff, but everybody knows who you are. You're very successful singles career. You got stuck with Mark Henry. And I was actually thinking about this today. Mark Henry should pay you royalties for the rest of your life because without you, God only knows where Mark Henry would have ended up because you literally took him, trained him, and molded him and made him and helped make him into what he is today. But when you found out you were stuck tagging with me, seriously, be honest. You're not going to hurt my feelings. How did you feel about that?
And to be completely honest, you and I both at the time, we were both floating in limbo. And I was excited and a bit miffed that you couldn't find something to do with the guy who has held 2 championships and has been part of a successful stable and had a successful single and tag run, but you couldn't find anything to do. And then on the other side, I was like, okay, well, hell, it's Chaz and I. We're good friends. We already travel together. What's the difference? What's the difference other than now we get to travel in the ring together? So let's try to do this and let's show them what they're missing. This was always my mindset when it came to Lowdown until we got a manager.
The manager kind of, and the manager was, I talked about this before, the manager we were kind of duped into that because we were told one thing and then the next week we showed up and we were handed genie outfits.
Yes.
So my only thing with it, and I've shared before how we found out about it, how you, Glenn, Pete Gass, and I were kind of standing there and we're like, Lowdown versus Mean Street Posse, another tag team. Who the hell's Lowdown? And when Shane walks by and he was like, oh, Chaz D'Lo, you guys are now Lowdown.
Yeah.
That's how you found out?
Yes.
I didn't tell you that? Yes.
No.
Got back to the gym. We're looking at, they used to take the run sheet and they would tape it on the wall next to the locker room. And we're looking at the run sheet for Sunday Night Heat. And there it said Mean Street Posse versus Lowdown. And literally stood there. And I went, another tag team? Who the hell is Lowdown? And here comes Shane walking by. And he goes, no one told you? We're like, clearly not, whatever you're talking about. He's like, Chaz, you and D'Lo are now Lowdown. And Glenn, you have to go see Bruce. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah, I think it was Hartford. So that sounds about right.
Yeah, so D and I had that's how we ended up with the basketball pants because that's the only thing we had that matched. And
because we literally ran out to like Walmart that afternoon. Like, you're gonna be a team. We don't have anything that matches.
Right.
We literally ran out and went to a Walmart or a Nike store and then came back with it.
Yeah, and that's what we came up with. And then so Glenn and I had driven up there. So imagine that 3-hour drive home. That was one of the most awkward drive homes.
Ever.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the part that was awkward for me, and D, I don't know if you remember this or not, but we were waiting to go out. We were up at Gorilla waiting to go out. And D'Lo and I had gotten a ring. We figured out a finisher. We figured out a couple, tag moves to do. And Mean Street Posse's on the way to the ring. And Bruce Pritchard looks up at me and he goes, oh, you have to take all of your earrings out. And I said, why? He goes, we want nothing headbanger. You go out there. And I went, who the hell is Chaz? Like, no idea. So literally trying to figure it out on the spot. But yeah, for some odd reason, I just felt like asking you that question. I don't know. We never really talked about it before. So that's all.
And I got to say, I will tell you this. Initially with Lowdown, I was real happy with the way it was going. When we were in the track pants with no tops on, we were out there having matches with the Hardys and with the Dudleys. We were figured in.
Yeah.
Like we were getting slotted in to start working in the very stacked tag team division. And then a couple weeks went by and then we got Tiger and everything went south.
Yeah, they even put Ivory with us. So we were going out there doing the 3-way matches or 6-person matches, whatever you want to call them, with the Hardys and Lita. So there was a couple times we even went over on them.
Yeah, no, we went over on the Dudleys, went over on the Hardys. Yeah. I mean, they were ready to put us in a spot, and then somehow Vince had a bright idea to use a guy who's been sitting at home and no one liked, and yeah,
And put him with us.
then I was
And
Aladdin.
then to make it worse, he got hurt and we got taken off the road.
Yes, it's the only time in the history of wrestling a tag team was taken off the road because their manager got hurt.
Yeah.
Wow.
He got hurt. We got taken off. And then, then Puerto Rico happened. So,
Then Puerto Rico happened, and there we go.
yeah, Puerto Rico. Just Puerto Rico happened.
Yes. Although Puerto Rico was fun, but no.
Puerto Rico had its moments.
It had its ups and downs.
Some of our fun moments in the room was we would put PlayStation on, and we'd have the Bears play the Bengals football, and
In simulation. We weren't playing the game.
watch the computer play against
Yes,
us.
we would put it on 15-minute quarters and just sit back and watch like it was a real game happening.
and we would bet on each quarter, like who would
Yes.
score, who would do this, who would do that, and we had bets. Yeah,
Yes.
good time.
When you have a lot of free time in Puerto Rico, there's not much to think about other than we had a beach 20 feet away and we had PlayStation.
Right. And then we had peak asses escapades to keep us laughing.
Well, that's a whole different. You could write a book on that.
I was gonna say some of the stories you've told me, Chaz, we can't exactly publicize here on the show.
No, the FCC will shut us down.
The statutes of limitations have not run.
They have not run out yet. No.
No.
I don't. There's probably still some people, some officials in Puerto Rico looking for us right now.
Right. Thank God we got out when we did.
Yes.
Now I do want to ask D'Lo something because
Pause right there. Hey D, Henry O. Godwin says, "What's up, boys?" He's watching.
I love you, my big ivory tower. I love you. If I can hug you right now, look, I'm hugging you right now.
All right, go ahead, Simon. Sorry.
I know you didn't want to go into a bunch of D'Lo's accolades, man, but like this is like huge. So my tag team partner, Francisco Chiazzo, used to razz me all the time because every time your name would come up, I would say, that's the first Eurocontinental champion. That's the first Eurocontinental champion. And he would, all right, enough. And I don't understand why that's not such a bigger deal. Chris Jericho being the first undisputed champion, people talk about all the time. The first Universal champion, Finn Balor. But do you have people ever, D'Lo, approach you about that accolade, that accomplishment?
Oh yeah, all the time when I go out on
good.
appearances. Yeah, no, when I'm out there, people ask me what it felt like. When did I? All the questions you normally get. When did I find out it was happening? How did I feel? What was my reaction? All those things. So yeah, it comes up all the time, and it's a badge of honor, something I hold dear to my heart. I mean, like, think about it. And all the millions of guys and girls who have done things in professional wrestling for as long as wrestling's been around, to do a first, to have a first of anything is special. So, I mean, I know the boys and girls inside the business appreciate it and talk about it, and I know the fans do too. So it's something that, it's the pivotal and culminating point of my career. Like, that's the peak right there.
That's awesome.
And it's one of those deals I look back on very fondly.
I just didn't know if you got your praise for it or how often people bring it up, because like it's always mystified me. Like how is this not in a giant banner somewhere?
Every time I go out, I talk about it. And here's the thing: I only carry the European title with me because no one wants to see the Intercontinental title. I only carry the European title with me on appearances.
Yeah, unfortunately, you had the ugly IC belt.
Yeah, and I have a story about that too.
But it's still an IC belt. So
Well, you thought it was ugly?
Okay, I'll tell you. So Rocky was the first one to have that purple strap with the oval kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So I remember he was going to get it that night. So he goes, "Hey, you want to see something?" And he takes me in the production office. And in the production office, this is where all the big boxes are that have all the belts that are in it, next to all the merch and all that stuff, okay? So he goes, "All right, you're the first one to see it." And he pulls up the drawer, and he goes, "Look at the new IC belt." And I go, "That is ugly as hell." And you see Rocky's face. He looks at me and goes, "What?" Now, fast forward 6 months when I win the thing, I thought it was the most beautiful belt I'd ever seen in my life.
Listen, at that point, I mean, the belts I held for my first tag belt I had was down at Larry's. Was the ugliest belt I've ever seen in my life, but it was the greatest belt I ever saw at the same time. So I
Agreed.
get it. Yes,
It's ugly until it becomes yours, and then she's pretty.
Yeah.
And she lays right next to you on the bed.
I've had a lot of conversations with my belts on the bed, lots of them.
Yeah, we'll just leave that there because I know exactly what you're talking about. Thank you.
See, this would be perfect for a Patreon after the show.
Right. All right. Well, we got to work on that.
Yeah.
Give me that rim shot. Because that's what.
Hold on. What was your shot? That was your shot. Was
Wait a second. Wait a minute.
Wow.
You wrestle. I've seen you play basketball. Yeah, no, that's it's definitely a thing, and it again, this is entertainment. It's a work, so we know, but still, just to be able to be given that belt, to be to be the first one to do it is definitely something that's amazing, 100%.
It's an honor I will cherish forever. It's special to be in the history books as somebody who did something for the first time. You can never take that away, and it's one of my proudest moments.
I mean, that's Hall of Fame ballot stuff.
Hall of Very Good, not Hall of Fame.
Jeez. The Hall of Okay.
Hall of Okay.
I'm in the Hall of so-so, so it's okay.
See, there you go. There's levels to this.
There's tiers.
I listen. I say it all the time. I'm Glenn sometimes gets a little bitter. Oh yeah, look at Coco Beware's in the Hall of Fame. This one's in the Hall of Fame. Like, we should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm like, for what? What did we do to get in the Hall of Fame? But again,
I to me, and then we're going off the Hall of Fame topic. I hold that thing seriously. Like, it's as serious to me as the Hall of Fame in baseball or football or any major sport. And to me, you have to have done something that affected the lives of the fans in a positive way in order to be in that building, in that room, in that conversation. And maybe I'm underselling myself. That's why I say I'm always in the Hall of Very Good. I floated with Hall of Famers, but I was right there next to them. Right. So that's just my opinion.
Listen, we got to be there with them. We got to be in the ring with them. We got to hang out
with them.
Bro, and even to this day, we're still doing it.
Yes. We got to be part of the greatest business ever created in its biggest boom time. I don't care. I was there. That's all that matters. I was there.
I tell Chaz this all the time. You guys accomplished things that are going to outlive you far after you shed your mortal coil. You guys have tangible proof, action figures, record books, video games, for your kids and their kids and their kids to pass a physical piece proving that you existed on this planet down to further generations. That's wild to me.
You mean our kids can always go, look, daddy was somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all worth it right there.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Tyler looks at my wrestling and he's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but he'll get it later on. He'll get it.
Oh, he will. He's me. So he gets it. He understands. He just plays it off. He's the cool kid. Like, it's no big deal. But that's just Ty's personality. So, and I understand that. And I'm not offended by it at all.
Ty is as cool as the other side of the pillow. That brother he's laid back.
You have no idea. And the way he's grown, I mean, hell, he teaches me stuff now. Yeah, he's totally changed my diet. He's now a certified trainer, so he's helping me with workouts. He sends me these mobility workouts to do. And yeah, he's like, Dad, you should be taking this, you should be taking that. He came over the other day and he took my vitamins out, and there was like 2 piles. One was like, yeah, these are you need to take, and these just throw away. I'm like, okay.
And it's amazing. You remember him when he was literally tall enough to kick you in the shin. And then here he is, full-ass grown man.
I mean, he's got to be 6'4" now. I mean, he's taller than I am. He's not
Jeez.
big. He's not bigger. and I still take him down every now and then just so he knows. I can still
Well, you got to, as dad, you got to do that, man. You got to let him know.
Yeah.
You got big dreams, but none of them are bigger than me.
No, exactly.
My Facebook memories, Chaz, from like 2 weeks ago was you, me, Tyler, and my twins, and the boys are barely above our waists. It was from 12 years ago.
Yeah, it's nuts how fast they grow. But all right, so let's move on. So with today's going, okay, so we went back. Now we're going here. Hold on. Oh yeah, Smoky Mountain days, good times. Without Smoky Mountain, without Cornette, we aren't who we are.
Dude, I say it every time I get a chance. I owe more to that man than I can even repay ever. I mean, I'm still making money in this business because of the start and the foundation he gave me. So
100%.
Yeah.
And I always say, if there is a chance of ever getting into the Hall of OK, he would be the one I want to induct us into it.
You know what? You're right. And you never
That's
want to
awesome.
put it out there, but yeah, that will be the dude. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it would be him. He'd be my first choice and only choice. So, yeah. So now you have NXT and TNA.
Mhm.
How involved are you with that, with like the match calling, the angles, and how did it all come to be?
So all that was done literally, that was a Scott D'Amore kind of project before he was removed from his position. So he was the one facilitating that, and then the rest just landed in everyone's lap. And it's been something that's really given TNA some exposure, um, shown a lot of TNA talent to people who may not have seen the product because TNA is on a lesser network. It's a smaller network. So it's exposing, anytime the WWE does anything, it's the masses of pro wrestling fans. So when you get to even just be in the same orbit as them, it exposes your talent
Mhm.
to fans who may never have seen them.
100%. And I personally, I like it. I think it's good. Between that and with the Hardys and what they're doing, and now you guys are going to have that Dudleys versus Hardys one last time. I think it's good. I like it because it's exposing everyone to more, and the business is just getting better and hot.
Mhm.
And whenever you can break down these walls between companies, I say it creates these dream matches that you never thought you would see, create scenarios that fans have only thought about it. And at the end of the day, the two groups that win the most are the boys and the fans.
Yes.
And if those two groups win, then wrestling's in a great spot.
Mm-hmm.
I agree 100%.
Amen.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff, and I think it's just going to get, I think it's going to get better and better, and we'll see where it goes. But I like, as you know, like, and it's actually next week I'm going up to the PC again to do some guest coaching. But I get to see all that, what's going on backstage, and and the last thing I do is talk about it. But to see it, and because I sit back like LFG. Simon, did you watch last night?
I sure did.
Did you figure out the two matches?
I'll text you later because I think I did, but I don't want to be wrong.
No, I texted him because I helped produce two matches that were on LFG last night.
Mm-hmm.
So to watch and see if he could figure out which two I had my hand in. But anyway, I love seeing that, but I don't want to know where it's going. Like I'm there at LFG and I'm watching them tape it, or I'm watching it. I just want to see what I have to do, what I have to help with, and I want to get out because I'm enjoying sitting back as a fan and watching all of it. Seeing where TNA's going, where LFG's going, where NXT's going. Yeah, so to me, it's fun.
We had a conversation a couple weeks ago. I think it was the last time we went up to the PC, and we were talking about what it feels like to be a coach or agent or producer, whatever that is. And I gave you an analogy, and in the text, I could hear you popping in the text. And I just said, it's literally like teaching your kid how to ride a bike. And then you step back, and then all of a sudden your kid is rolling down the highway. And it's like when you give these young talent the tools to go out there and get a crowd reaction or to lighten up, give some excitement in their match, and then you see them go pull it off, and when they come back to the curtain and the smile they have lights up the room because they know that it worked.
Yep.
Dude, it's almost as good as being in there yourself.
Yeah, because
it is almost as good.
Because you produce also. You sit back there and you help them, and you let them go out and figure it out. You throw little details in, the little details that make a difference. And then you see that light bulb go off in their head, and then they go out and they pull it off. And when they come back, like, I'm getting goosebumps right now. I get just excited when they pull it off. Like, even watching it last night, knowing the 2 matches I helped with, watching it, I was sitting on the couch going, yeah, I'm like, fuck yeah, hell yeah. I already seen it, but I was like, the way they edited it together, I still pop for it. So
when I'm sitting at the monitor, if anyone ever sees me produce, when I'm sitting at the monitor, I'm literally a cheerleader because I'm calling the spots to the director, and as it happens and pulls it off, I'm like, let's go, and then you'll hear me go, let's bring it home, and I'm literally talking to the monitor to the boys in the ring because I'm excited. I'm in the moment with them.
That's awesome.
And I love when I go up and I shadow Carino, Steve Carino. He's the same exact. He's us. I mean, we all came from that same.
We're all Jersey.
But he's that same way. He sits there and he gets excited. He does his cheers on the monitor and stuff. So yeah, I use your analogy all the time. I tell people that all the time. I'm like, it's like teaching a kid to ride a bike. You take those training wheels off. You just watch them ride off into the sunset. It's amazing.
It's a beautiful. And here's the thing. I think it all comes from because we grew up as fans. We grew up watching wrestling and being fans of wrestling. So it's almost like when I do commentary, I tell people it's easy to talk about something you love. It's easy to produce something you love. It's easy to give feedback on something you love. And since 9 years old, I have nothing but love professional wrestling. And I know I'm speaking for Chaz because we've had this conversation since being young children, going to the Philadelphia Spectrum and watching it on Prism Television and wanting to be part of this. It's a different level. And I'm not to put anybody in blast, but you can kind of feel the difference of someone who grew up watching this and someone who just wanted to do this. It's a different way people move. It's a different way they talk about it. It's a different attitude about the business. And you can easily spot someone who grew up watching this in the locker room without any of the cliches of always marking out. You can just tell.
Yeah.
You can just tell.
Yeah, the passion's there 100%. And even though I'm still only going up and guest coaching, like, I love it. And somehow I want to be involved more. Like, even when I go to indie shows, we did an indie show a couple weeks ago in Staten Island. I think I texted it. Spitfire was there. The girls were there, and their table was set up right next to ours, and it was great. We started politicking so we could work each other. It didn't work. We wanted to work, but it was like just the passion, and then watching them, and then sitting out there and watching it, and being able to pull some of them into the back and go, hey, do this different, tweak this, tweak that, because that's all it is. It's little. That's what separates, the guys that are up here and the guys that are down here trying to get the details. To me, that's.
And I'm not going to pat my own self on the back, but I love it when I go to independent shows and I start giving feedback and people go, I didn't think you were going to watch the matches. And I go, that's my job. It's my job, no matter where I am, to watch the matches and give feedback because I have knowledge that it's my responsibility to give away before I can't give it to anybody.
Yep.
Right.
Because that's how this business is supposed to grow, is by the vets taking care of the youngins and teaching them the tricks of the trade and hopefully avoiding some of the pitfalls that, we fell into, because I had a guy like Ron Simmons who helped me avoid some of the pitfalls that he fell into. And that's how this is supposed to go.
Yeah. And the business is so different now than when we were coming through. Like, we had the territories. So we had, we had Dirty White Boy, we had Tracy Smothers, we had Rock and Roll Cornette. These guys were in the locker room. When we had Henry Godwin on, he was telling us how when he first started, he drove with Harley Race up and down the road.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I would love that. I would love that.
You don't have that now. So
yeah, there's no more locker room leader vet who puts the young kid in the car with him, makes the young kid drive, and spends the next 3 or 4 hours telling him what he did right, what he did wrong, where can he get beer at, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's where you learn the most is in the car ride. It's not during the match, it's the car ride after the match to the next town.
Yep.
You do most of your learning at 12 midnight when no one's on the highway and it's dark out. And the only thing open is the McDonald's. And that's where the education is, because you have nothing to do besides talk about what you did and what you need to do to get better.
Yeah.
And that's how we grow.
It's great you said that, because Simon, am I wrong? We could roll back what Henry said. That's exactly what
Bingo.
he said. He learned more in the car than he did in the ring by just sitting back and listening.
Yep.
Anyone who, I believe we're the last of that generation where it was the last of the territories and the last of the vets. And we're pretty much closing down the last of the house shows.
Brian said the same thing about Al Snow.
Yeah, Meanie said the same thing.
You learn more. Anybody you can ask anyone on top right now. They learn more in the car than they ever did bumping in the ring.
Yep.
And that's because you had someone who knew what they were doing, and they were there telling you how to figure it out. They weren't giving you the answers to the test, but they were definitely leading you down the path to answer the question right.
Right. Yeah. And that's the time you just sat and listened.
Mm-hmm.
Soaked it all, soaked it in.
But Chaz, we talked about nowadays how so many, especially people like young people. And one thing I've noticed is, as D'Lo pointed out, ones that didn't grow up watching it, they don't have the ability to just sit and take the criticism, the critique, the constructive feedback. Everybody gets so defensive. Everything is a yeah, but, or oh, the reason I did that is no, just absorb. Just sit and absorb. You're not on trial here. I'm not asking you to justify your incorrect actions. Just literally take this perspective, absorb it into your brain, and walk away. And that's it.
That's it.
I told this is the harsh business in many ways. But if you can't take criticism or critiques, it's going to punch you in the face. Not too long ago, I was out at an independent show and I was giving some advice, and the kid go, "Yeah, I know," and I go, "Stop. If you knew, you would have done. You don't know. That's why you didn't do. So don't say, yeah, I know. At this point, it is better to be quiet, ask questions about what I'm talking about. Don't get defensive. Don't get insulted. I'm never going to give destructive criticism. It's all constructive. And it's all to make you better the next time you get in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it's for. It is not to break you down. It is actually to build you up.
I remember at the school, Bubba and Devon would rather you mess up 1,000 times than to do something okay the first time and then walk away with the mentality of, I got
that.
Yeah.
I got that.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it a long time ago. You want to make a mistake every day of your life, as long as you don't make the same mistake twice.
Ooh, I like it. Damn. That's Jeez Louise.
So,
Dropping knowledge.
D'Lo needs to write a book.
Motivational quotes.
Dude.
Brother.
We'll make sure we get that part.
D'Lo's daily affirmations.
There it is. I'll get my app going. I'll get the app going.
So speaking of doing something 1,000 times, how many powerbomb leg drops did you take?
So for those who don't know, and I'm pretty sure you've told the story. So we all grew up in the same area. We're all Monster Factory grads. In fact, Glenn and Chaz were my initial trainers. And part of that training,
I didn't find that out till last week.
Really?
Of all the time I've known Chaz and I've known about you, I had no idea. He told me the story of you and your friends going to the Monster Factory, and it blew my mind. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just had to say that because it's such breaking news.
Okay. And my friends included a guy named Reckless Youth, Tom Carter, who was the king of the Indies forever. We would rent Larry Sharp's ring, put on our air quotes pay-per-views, and record it. And that's how we started getting involved in wrestling. And then one day Larry was like, "Hey," to me, he's like, "You're pretty big, pretty athletic. You ever think about doing this for real?" And when I say this, Chaz, you're gonna laugh. Larry goes, "All right, you can be on my next show. You can sell 50 tickets. You can be on my next show." So I sold 4, and I bought the other 46 myself, and that's how I got on my first show. So going back to it, Chaz was one of my initial trainers, him and Glenn. And part of being a student of theirs was when they were working on stuff, they wanted a body that they could trust to be in the right spot at the right time and not panic.
But at the same time, you helped us perfect that by
Oh yes, it was try this, do this, put your hands here. We built their finish together, but I was the designated bump dummy. So the powerbomb leg drop is one of the most devastating finishes, particularly if you take it about 400 times in a 3-day span.
At least
because
no crash pad.
Oh no, crash pad at first.
Oh
but
no!
Then it was no crash pad. Let's go. And now I'm taking this power bomb.
Hold on,
over and over again.
Let me jump in, and then it turned into Chaz. You are not doing a leg drop anymore, Glenn. You need to do the leg drop because I kept kicking him in the head. I kept sitting on.
Yes, Chaz's feet were. Chaz's foot. His heel would land here. Every like once every 10, he'd put the leg right there, and I'd go, okay, great. And Chaz go, let's do it again. And then the heel would be like here on my collarbone. I'm like, damn, dog. So that's when it was Glenn who could drop the pretty leg and the consistent leg, and that's how we got the powerbomb, the stage dive, the powerbomb leg drop.
Dude, I'm Chaz. Of all the matches you and I have had, I'm so thankful I never had to take them.
You're lucky he didn't call that. You're lucky he didn't call that, dog.
So once we got it perfected, there's been 2 times that I did the leg drop. You know, if I did the leg drop, you fucked up and you were in trouble because I was in the face. And that happened twice.
That's like JBL's clothesline. He's got the I like you clothesline, and I'm gonna take your damn head off clothesline. And you can tell the difference as soon as you see it. Same thing with Chaz and the leg drop. If Chaz is going to the top, somebody done something really rotten in the match.
It was time we had I think we were in like Hershey, Pennsylvania or something. And we had an enhancement match. And the kid, I was sitting there, and the kid comes up and he's like, so, you know, we're working tonight and blah, 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 blah. He goes, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start in the match and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I said, he literally called the entire match to me and we hadn't even spoken to him. I didn't even know his name. And I was just sitting there and he walked away and I looked up and there was Ron Simmons and Bradshaw sitting there. And Ron was just, it looked like something like in a movie. He was just sitting there going, and he just dropped his head and he goes, damn. And I was like, and Bradshaw goes, well, we know this is going to be a curtain sellout. I went, shit. All right, here we go. I got in.
Do it now.
I locked up with him and I just started bam, bam. And then I tagged Glenn and Glenn put some in an armbar. It was time to go to the finish. I climbed to the top rope. My ass landed right on his chest. Ooh. And we got in the back. The kid came over. He shook my hand. He said, thank you very much. He grabbed his bag and walked out. And I'll never forget it. Bradshaw goes, well, it seems like he learned his lesson. That was it. Yeah.
What can you do?
Dilo, you ever have a moment like that where you just absolutely lost your God-loving mind in the ring?
Not to this extent, but I will give you an example. And it was Ron Simmons as well. I was you walk in and you look on the board and I'm wrestling Vader.
Oh,
and wrestling Vader is like, oh, damn it. Because Vader is, rest his soul, Vader is stiff. He's a bully and will take advantage of you if you let him.
And he's stinky.
And his gear can have a hell of a match too.
Yeah.
Anyway. So you know the thing where Vader does the forms in the corner, right? So if you get it down to a nice rhythm, he hits you, you roll with it. Well, Vader on purpose will hit it, and then he'll mess up the timing. So now you're flying into the form that's coming at you.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing my name on the board. And Ron is a teacher no matter what. So he walks up to me, he's standing there, he's looking at me, he goes, oh, Vader, huh? Yeah. He goes, don't let him do that to you tonight. And he walks away, and I go, let him do what? And Ron is gone. He's in the wing.
Yes.
Okay. It's like 2 hours later, Ron's sitting in the locker room again. He goes, now don't let that boy do that to you tonight. And I go, what? Okay, so we get in the match. Vader gets me in the corner. He gives me the gut shots, and I know what's coming. And all of a sudden, he starts doing the forearms, and I'm rolling. And then he mistimes it. And I go, boom, boom. And just out of reaction, all I do is go. And I throw a punch straight to Vader's nose. And you see Vader go. And then from that point forward, everything felt like a feather touching me. Nothing hurt. So we get in the back, and Ron is right there in Gorilla. And he looks at me and goes, see, you let that boy do that to you tonight. Proud of you. And he walks away to go, why didn't you just tell me that? Just tell me that.
If he tells you, you're not learning. You're not figuring it out.
I'm not learning. That's the thing. He took me down the road. He showed me the do not cross sign, and it was up to me to figure out what was going on. And when Vader started taking the liberties on me, if I'd let him go, I'd have got my ass beat. But that one punch.
Fork in the road. Which way do you want to go?
Yes, it's a choice. Make a choice. Either get your wig split or you can fight back and have a match. I chose to fight back and have a match. And
all it took was one?
It took just one punch because that's all it takes. It's a shot across the bow. I'm warning you. The next one will be a real punch. That's just a warning. It's a shot across the bow.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So, amazing.
Yeah, that's all it is.
That's all it takes. A shot across the bow. And if they're professional, they'll go, all right. Yeah. All right. I got it.
He would that's why D said he would time it and then throw the timing off to see if he could get away with it. But once he goes, oh, okay, I'm in here with I know what we're doing now.
Yeah, if you let him get away with it, everything he did from that point forward would be you have street fight.
Yeah.
But if you gave him the Iggy and said, hey, bro, this ain't working, then you had a match.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So we're running out of time. November 11th, Bears, Bengals.
Cincinnati or Denver? Or Cincinnati or Chicago?
They're playing in Cincinnati. November 11th.
November 11th.
It's week 9, Bears versus Bengals. So we talked about this in a minute. Oh, it's going to be cold.
It's going to be cold. Damn. Okay.
No, we talked about this for a second, and I stopped you because I was like, oh, it'd be better to talk about it here.
Yes.
But just a little quick sports football talk. Bengals are going to have to score 60 to 65 points a game to have a chance at anything because they had no defense last year. Trey Hendrickson's on the fence. Who knows what's going to happen? And they didn't take a page out of Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady book of let's build an offensive line and a defense, and we'll just throw some scrubs in here because if Joe Burrow's so good, like we know he is, he can make people better. He doesn't need all of those offensive weapons to be good if he has a good defense and offensive line, just like Brady and Patrick Mahomes. Yes? Agree?
Joe Burrow's good enough, yes, but they built – yes, I'll give you that, yes.
Yeah. I think the Bengals should have taken a page out of the Patriots and the Chiefs book as far as that goes with him.
You knew that – and I say this as a fan of football. I had a feeling that Cincinnati was building the team the wrong way when they drafted Jamar Chase with their first overall pick, when they should have drafted an O-lineman.
Yes.
Because you got Joe Burrow, who's you knew he was a generational quarterback. And instead, you went and got his boy from LSU, which is okay because now you're telling everybody we're just going to outrun everybody.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but in the AFC East, you can't outrun people. You got nothing but defense. Even in Cleveland, they play defense.
Right.
So you got to prepare yourselves for games that are 24-21, 18-17. If you're trying to put up 60 points, you're going to get smoked because every other team in the division will just shut the game down, run the ball on you, and you'll never get the damn ball.
Right. You got to build your team around the division you're in, which is
Yes.
defense, the Ravens, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland. And I mean, it's going to be fun to watch because of Aaron Rodgers. But
yeah,
still.
bro, they are the most interesting team in the league right now because it's the young and the restless in Pittsburgh, and I don't know what's going to happen there.
No, I don't know either. But yeah, but that's how because you got to play them. You know, that's 6 games right there. You got
to, bro.
So that's
there's certain divisions. There's certain divisions of football. Your whole season is built around your interdivision record.
Right.
That's it. You know, and you guys, it's the black and blue division. You guys, your division takes pride in beating the hell out of each other.
Listen,
and
we've had this conversation before. I remember one year I went with Kyoto to the Steelers-Bengals game. It was the second last game of the year. And Steelers had to win out to make the playoffs. The Bengals had 1 win going into that game, and that was against the Steelers earlier in the season.
Yeah.
The Bengals beat them. The Bengals only won 2 games that year, but they swept the Steelers, knocked them out of the playoffs. In my mind, it was a great season because they swept the Steelers.
Yeah, well, that's if I beat that team up north, if I beat Green Bay, my season's complete. I can go 2-15. But if those 2 wins are against the Packers, yeah, I'm loving life. Now, if you want to get a real deep dive on the AFC East, go back and watch last year's Hard Knocks when they isolated on the AFC East and they showed you the interdivisional matchups, and just watch the way the boys talk when they're getting ready to play a division opponent compared to a regular team in the NFL. When they talk, when Cincinnati is playing Pittsburgh or Cleveland or Baltimore, you can see Mike Tomlin, the coach, he lights up.
Yeah.
Because it's the division that matters, and that's football to me.
I agree. Simon,
I thought we were talking about baseball the whole time. I know nothing about sports.
It's okay, dog. Don't worry about it.
Simon,
D'Lo, I just wanted to say thank you for your time. Thank you for I'm the resident fanboy of the show, even though I've been in and around the business. But I was so pumped when Chaz told me that you agreed to come on and do this, because I have been an enormous fan since my formative years. I've got multiple of your figures, posters, you name it, here at the house right now that I've passed on to my kids. So just thank you for your contributions. Thank you for the contributions in me that propelled me to want to be involved in this business 20 years ago. And yeah, man, this is so surreal to me.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me on. There's nothing in this world I wouldn't do for Chaz. We have known each other for damn near 30 years. And
the funniest part is both of us growing up in Jersey, we didn't realize this until until obviously we started talking, but our high schools actually wrestled one another.
Wrestled each other.
That's crazy.
Yes.
We were on the mat at the same time. Hey, so speaking of that, not to get somber for a minute, but Albert passed away.
Yes, I saw that, and I remember you texted me that the other day. And it's, man, he was a heavyweight, damn good, talented, and just life is life, and sometimes it takes you away too soon. But rest in peace, and he's got a win over me on the mat, so the heck with it. He's a winner.
So speaking of life and what's going on, you got your own podcast now.
Yes.
Derek and I keep going back and forth and trying to figure out a day and time to be able to do it. But tell us about that. Tell us what it's about and where everyone can find you.
It's called The Lowdown. Ironically, it's on Podcast Heat, and it's a Conrad Thompson production. So anywhere you find Conrad's podcast, you can find me. And we go in there and we just talked about, like last week, I talked about time in Smoky Mountain Wrestling and what that meant to me in my career. I'm going to have one of the Good Brothers on. We're going to break down a tag team match from perspective of an agent who puts it together to the talent who goes out there and puts it in the ring and works it out, and how things change. Everything changes from the locker room into the ring. So we just give a deep dive. We're no expose. We're not slander. We're just trying to give the good, wholesome part about what is wrestling and what breaks down wrestling, and to show my love and passion for what's given me an incredible life, one that I couldn't even have dreamt of in professional wrestling. So hit me up on Podcast Heat. You can follow me on Twitter at DLoBrown75. I used to tell everybody I was the only verified D'Lo Brown, but then you can buy a blue check for $5.
Mhm.
And you can always find me. I do a lot of independent work. One of the companies that I work with is 3PWA out here in California, where I'm the commissioner. I help for every aspect of the company. Another one is Rocky Mountain Pro over in Denver. So I love just giving back to the industry and giving back to the business, and that's what I talk about on the podcast on a weekly basis.
Hell yeah.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. D, thank you, man. I love you being on here. I love you. I appreciate it. And yeah, we got to get together soon. I gotta get my ass ghost.
Bro, I love you. You're one of my dearest friends. Literally, you're one of the people I've known. Only thing I've known longer than knowing you is breathing. So I love you, and I'm mad at you. My figure's not up on the wall back there, but I'll make sure I get you one. And I appreciate you having me on. It's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks, D. And yep, that's it. We'll see y'all next week.
Hit me up. Go Bears.
Go Bengals, November 11th. We'll figure that out.
See you Wednesday, Chaz.
Yes, sir.